Good morning. It's Friday, February 23rd, and today I'm about to rant about one of the craziest situations that I've come across in the over 3 years that I've been doing these rants. And it doesn't surprise me that I'll be talking about the state of Alabama in this situation, because Alabama stands 49th or 50th on the educational level in this country. It's a piss poor state, and their ideas of how to manage people and how to do things are totally off the wall. So here's the story. So the Alabama court, in a ruling bordering on insanity, held that a fertilized frozen egg in a fertility clinic freezer should be treated as the legal equivalent of an existent child or a fetus gestating in the womb. That's insane. Now, these eggs that are sitting in the freezer have gone through a process called in vitro fertilization. Now, it's a type of fertility treatment where the eggs are combined with sperm outside the body in a lab. It's not a simple process. It's a complex series of procedures, possibly lead to pregnancy. It's a treatment for infertility, and it occurs when couples are unable to conceive after at least a year of trying. So the IVF can also be used to prevent passing on genetic problems to a child. So here's how it works. First, there's an egg retrieval. Mature eggs are collected from the ovaries. And then there's fertilization. These eggs are often fertilized by sperm in a laboratory setting. And then there's an embryo transfer. One or more of the fertilized eggs, now called embryos, are placed in the uterus where they can develop into a baby. But that doesn't happen right away. That can take weeks, months, and so some of these fertilized eggs are kept frozen for a while. And then there's a full cycle duration. A complete IVF cycle typically takes 2 to 3 weeks to complete the implantation and get everything set up so that the mother-to-be can actually have this baby. It's a method used by people who need help in achieving pregnancy. So these cells are sitting outside the human body, in a test tube, in a freezer. And when the owners of these eggs are ready to attempt to conceive the child, then the eggs are transplanted to the mother-to-be. So when I look at this scenario, I cannot believe that the Alabama Supreme Court is acting like sane Supreme Court. Now, Alabama's a tough place. They're very strict. Their rules of abortion and everything are off the wall. Why? Why do they have that situation? So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're pretty stupid and they're looking at this thing from the wrong side of the table. Maybe it's a religious thing. In any event, the ruling that frozen embryos in test tubes should be considered children has shocked the world of reproductive medicine. And they are casting doubts over fertility care for would-be parents in the state of Alabama. And they're raising complex legal questions with implications extending far beyond Alabama. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the legal questions. Here you are penalizing people who have embryos sitting in test tubes, telling the world, essentially, that they are dependents. So was Alabama prepared for tax reasons to allow the citizens who have embryos in test tubes to declare those test tubes as dependents and take them off the tax rolls as a benefit, saving these people who have embryos in storage lots and lots of money? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the fact that I have 6 or 7 test tubes of impregnated cells that I'm declaring as dependents? How much does it cost me to maintain those frozen children? I can't answer that question, but that's one of the things that could crop up here. You know why this issue has come to the forefront? Because the Supreme Court in Alabama ruled on a case where parents had embryos in a freezer at the Mobile hospital, and somebody went in there and deliberately destroyed those frozen embryos. And they caught the guy, and his hand was freeze burned, as they say. So the parents sued for wrongful death, but the trial court dismissed their claims, finding crypto-preserved in vitro embryos involved in the case do not fit within the definition of a person or child. That's according to the ruling in this particular case where the embryos were destroyed by a person. But last week, there was a stunning reversal to that. The state Supreme Court disagreed, noting that extrauterine children or unborn children located outside of a biological uterus at the time they are killed are children. They are covered under the state's wrongful death of a minor law. So this case went before one court that found the person not guilty of murder, but then the Alabama Supreme Court disagreed and declares that these test tube babies are children. And that's why we had this entire situation come to the forefront. And is this going to affect many states in this country? Probably. And is this person who destroyed the test tubes going to be charged with multiple murders? That'll be an interesting case. Somebody destroys a bunch of test tubes with embryos in it, and then he's declared a multi-murderer. Wow, that would be something. And it probably could happen in Alabama, because Alabama is a leading state in this country, far out in the world of ridiculous. So I leave you with that this morning. Something that we have to think about. Don't we have better things to do? Probably not, because this is an indication of the wide variety of people that inhabit our country. Have a great day. Bye.